From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, March 23rd. After a nice, mild, and dry stretch of days, today, some showers move in. We'll stay mild with highs in the low 60s, but we'll likely start to see some stray showers before noon, before more widespread rain and even some possible storms later today. The winds will pick up as well, but just know that today you'll have several windows of dry throughout the day. Certainly the most pressing news today is that of the mass shooting at a Boulder, Colorado grocery store. You may have heard of it by now. It happened last night around 10 o'clock. Just another heartbreaking tragedy. It sent an otherwise quiet, peaceful town into a tailspin. What we know this morning is that a shooter walked into a local grocery store there called King Soopers. It's a Colorado grocery chain that's actually owned by the Kroger company. This morning, there are condolences coming from across the country as well as calls to action. Here, you'll first hear from the Boulder police chief and then the district attorney.
Officer Talley responded to the scene, was the first on the scene. Police officer's actions felt nothing short of being heroic. My heart goes out to the victims of this incident, and I'm grateful for the police officers that responded, and I am so sorry about the loss of Officer Talley, and that we will try to do our best over the next few hours to identify the victims, and we'll be working with the coroner's office to do that as promptly as possible, because I know there are people out there waiting for an answer, and I am very sympathetic to that, and we will work around the clock to get this accomplished.
Boulder has suffered a terrible and horrific mass shooting today. My heart goes out to Eric Talley's family, his loved ones, and his colleagues. He was, by all accounts, one of the outstanding officers at the Boulder Police Department, and his life was cut far too short as he responded to the shooting that was taking place at King Soopers.
Police are still at the grocery store investigating. The only victim to be identified so far is 51-year-old Officer Eric Talley. He was a father of 7 who had been with Boulder PD since 2010. He was the first officer to get there, as you heard the chief say, and according to police, Talley encountered the shooter, who was armed with a high-powered rifle. The Boulder police chief calls Talley's actions, as you heard, nothing short of heroic. A procession was held last night to honor Talley. An ambulance carrying his body was escorted by emergency vehicles to a funeral home. Police are working to identify the other 9 victims. They're still notifying family members. Witnesses who were inside the King Soopers grocery store say it was chaos and there was panic when they heard gunfire. A man whose family was inside the store says they were hiding in a closet for an hour.
They were texting, hiding in the coat closet, turned their phone off, and we're hiding, we're okay, the phone would ring and give away their position.
Boulder police say a lone suspect is in custody and is getting medical treatment. As of now, they refuse to speculate on a motive, saying the investigation has just begun. The Boulder police chief says the investigation will take no fewer than 5 days to complete. The attack in Boulder comes after multiple mass shootings in Colorado, including the 1999 Columbine High School massacre and the 2012 Aurora movie theater shooting. And it's also just days after the mass shooting in Atlanta. And now we're hearing calls once again, calls growing louder to do something about all of the gun violence. Representatives, senators, and governors across the country are asking to reform the nation's gun laws. Many took to Twitter overnight with a common message of enough is enough. Colorado's lawmakers are demanding federal action. Representatives from 4 of Colorado's districts and the state senators are seeking action. The Senate Judiciary Committee is set to hold a constitutional and common sense steps to reduce gun violence hearing this morning. Arizona Representative Gabrielle Giffords says the executive director of the Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence will testify. Giffords says the Boulder shooting is an especially personal tragedy for her. You may remember she survived being shot in the head during a shooting at a grocery store in Tucson in 2011. And by one count, the Boulder shooting is the 102nd mass shooting in the United States so far this year. The Gun Violence Archive considers cases with 4 or more victims a mass shooting. There's a map from the archive you can find online. It shows where they've happened in 2021. 5 of them are in Indiana, 4 in Indianapolis. The archive also charts overall gun violence. So far this year, it counts more than 9,500 deaths from gunfire in any circumstance. The map also shows where those have happened, including a large cluster in central Indiana. Boulder police do plan to hold another news briefing not long from the publishing of this podcast. It'll be at 10:30 this morning. If you're listening to this after that time, you can find all of that coverage online right now at wishtv.com. If you're listening to this before that time, you can catch it live streaming on wishtv.com as well as through the Wish TV Facebook page. And breaking news this morning, not good news for the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine. There are some new concerns here. So this is the version that has had a troubled rollout in Europe and is not approved here yet. Federal health officials now say the company may have included outdated information in its U.S. trials, leading to an incomplete view of how well its shot works. AstraZeneca has said its vaccine is 79% effective in preventing symptomatic cases, and the company plans to ask for emergency use authorization soon. The National Institutes of Health is calling on AstraZeneca to work with the Data and Safety Monitoring Board to make sure the board has accurate information. Today, Hoosiers will hear the newest coronavirus information from Indiana leaders as we mark 1 year since the COVID-19 lockdown. An advocacy group, Hoosier Action, is also using the day to direct attention to victims and what it wants lawmakers to focus on. That event is called Reclaim Our Future. It's set for 11 this morning. Hoosier Action wants lawmakers to prioritize affordable health care and help for struggling families. Speakers will share their stories, honor lives lost, and call on the General Assembly to ensure that everyone will be able to recover from the pandemic. After the vigil, the group's resource center will release a white paper report detailing the struggles Hoosiers have faced in this past year after the vigil. Around this time last year, you likely remember, streets across Indianapolis were empty as many businesses and restaurants were closed. Let's take a listen back.
Signed another executive order that calls on all Hoosiers to hunker down.
That was Governor Holcomb 12 months ago today, the first order to stay at home. And today, the governor is set to address the state at 5:30 this afternoon. News 8 will carry a special report of his address. You can catch that on air or online through wishtv.com, also through our news app or Facebook page. The CDC is warning that COVID-19 variants could cause another surge it considers avoidable. According to the agency, the variant first found in the UK is responsible for 9% of cases in New Jersey and 8% in Florida. CDC officials say relaxing measures like mask mandates and capacity limits could allow the variants to spread more. The agency's director, Rochelle Walensky, is calling this a critical point in the pandemic.
We must act now, and I am worried that if we don't take the right actions now, we will have another avoidable surge, just as we are seeing in Europe right now, and just as we are so aggressively scaling up vaccination.
The CDC says vaccine supply will increase in the coming weeks and months. As of yesterday, more than 82 million people have had at least one shot. Of those, more than 44 million are fully vaccinated.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
Indiana's tax filing deadline is moving to match the federal delay. You are now required to file both by May 17th. The IRS announced that the change gives its agency and taxpayers more time to deal with changes caused by the pandemic. And the local wedding industry is bracing for and banking on a rebound. People are booking celebrations that the pandemic canceled this time last year. The director of the Biltwell Event Center says his calendar is full for the year. Some events were planned before the lockdown. Then people like Zane and Nicole Anderson, who got married in an altered way in 2020, want a party now to celebrate a year of marriage.
There have been things that have been in the making for 2 or 3 years now. And just to finally get to do that, like wear the dress, have all of our friends and family together, see all of the details that you plan.
The Biltwell, interesting enough, kept its entire staff working by doing some renovations and just focusing on that over the last year. And more local businesses are in line for citations for breaking pandemic rules. Bottle Works, one of the city's newest hotspots, landed a visit from health authorities over the weekend. There's some pictures circulating online, shows large crowds with little social distancing, very few masks, as people watched games on Saturday. The photos show the scene outdoors. Those who were indoors at Bottle Works tell News 8 they did have to follow the restrictions.
I drove past here because I wanted to come to Bottle Works, but it was wall to wall and I just turned around because it was so packed.
The health department says Bottle Works complied with the orders and the event was over on Sunday. The department tells us it's in the process of citing 3 more businesses, but it's not releasing those names yet. And we have learned more about what the inside of the largest Border Patrol detention center looks like. Democratic Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar shared some photos with Axios from over the weekend that show where migrant children are being housed at the facility that's in southern Texas. The photos show soft-sided pods that are see-through, like clear, thick plastic, filled with minors. Cuellar told Axios that each one has the capacity for 260 children, but that as of Sunday, he says at least one was holding 400 unaccompanied boys. CNN reports there are nearly 4,900 unaccompanied children at Border Patrol facilities. More than 800 of the children have been there for more than 10 days. The law says they should only be held for no more than 72 hours. The Biden administration says it's struggling to get minors out of border facilities and into shelters run by the Health and Human Services Department. The White House does reaffirm it is taking a humane approach to the problem.
These Border Patrol facilities are not places made for children. They are not places that we want children to be staying for an extended period of time. Our alternative is to send children back on this treacherous journey. That is not, in our view, the right choice to make.
The San Diego city and county leaders say the city's convention center will soon become a temporary housing site for migrant children. A date for those first arrivals hasn't been announced. Back here in Indianapolis, the Sweet 16 in Indy is set. The Big Ten has one hope left. Top seed Michigan stays alive, beating LSU and advancing to the next round. Aside from that, the tournament so far has been a crushing disappointment for the conference, which sent 9 teams to the Big Dance. The Wolverines will face the Florida State Seminoles on Sunday. And players are sending a big thank you to their families and friends at home. The NCAA tweeted out a video of what athletes are saying to loved ones who are showing their support from far away.
Shout out all my family, shout out New York family, shout out my family back in Virginia, mom, aunt, brother, uncle, grandpa, everybody. Miss you guys, love you too, pastor, the whole church family, TLPC. I love you guys.
To my parents, my brothers, to family, I love y'all. Y'all made all this possible for me, going back to me being a kid.
Some player families were not able to travel to watch the games in person. The athletes are also under strict rules and can only interact with their teammates during their time off. IU women's basketball breaks a Big Ten record. The Hoosiers knocked out Virginia Commonwealth 63-32. The team tweeted that score made for the fewest points allowed by a Big Ten team in the NCAA tournament. That came with the caption, "You thought we were done setting records? Think again." The Hoosiers have won 40 consecutive games while holding opponents to 65 or fewer points. Just a dominant defense they have. Up next is 12-seed Belmont. That game is tomorrow at 5 p.m. To business headlines now, the DoorDash app is no longer just for ordering food. Pizza, late night snacks, dinner, lunch snack, whatever, we've gotten accustomed to it. It'll now, though, help you check if you have the coronavirus that causes COVID-19. You don't even have to leave your house. The food delivery app teamed up with 2 home testing kit companies to offer the self-administered tests on demand. Both test kits should arrive the day you order them. The travel industry is asking for a plan from the Biden administration. The U.S. airlines' main lobbying group is seeking a plan from the Biden administration to lift international travel restrictions. Among other recommendations, the groups asked that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention update its guidance to say that vaccinated people can safely travel. Research firm Finbold has found that Amazon is drawing in new sellers at a rapid rate. In 2021, the online giant attracted 3,700 new merchants a day. As of Sunday, that totaled out to 295,000 new sellers in 2021. This is incredible. A total of 26% of those new sellers are in the United States. Indiana ranks 8th for receiving federal aid. Wallet Hub says residents' state dependence on federal government contracts, grants, and other federal assistance is 8th. State government of financial aid is 11th. The national average of gas price fell to $2.86 a gallon, the first drop in 11 weeks. The national average now stands at 22.2 cents higher than a month ago. AAA says the current average in central Indiana is $2.64. A month ago, it was $2.62, so it's actually gone up a couple cents. But Europe locking down could lead to lower oil prices and therefore lower gas prices in the next few weeks. Expect to see city crews repairing several streets today as they hustle to get in more work before rain returns. DPW says it'll fill potholes or strip patch 16 different spots, including stretches of Southport Road, 38th Street, and Shadeland Avenue. DPW reminds everyone to slow down and give crews space if you see them working. The Department of Public Works says it's filled more than 54,000 potholes so far this year. And this morning, we are meeting some of the unsung heroes of the NCAA tournament. Olivia Ray shows us the team that goes out to get whatever players, coaches, and staffers need while stuck in the bubble.
I'm the guy, I guess, and it's no longer a secret. Whatever it is they need inside the controlled environment, we're going to go find it for them. If it's not laundry and it's not dining, it's us.
About 4 weeks ago, Indiana Sports Corp was tasked with designing a VIP delivery service that gives the quarantined individuals a link to the outside world.
They can either call or text a number. It comes in on these computers over here. We get the details we need. There's up to 9 hotels that we're supporting with anything and everything that's needed inside.
So here we are at the host program headquarters, the place that the first steps of the magic happens. And I'm here with the man with the grand plan, Mr. Brad Bowman of the Indiana Sports Corp, and he's going to let us go on a ride along to see how all of this unfolds.
Let's go shop.
Bowman leaves home base in the heart of downtown with an order loaded on his phone. He's been tasked as a runner and is off to retrieve the items on his ticket.
You can help me find the pepperoni that we're trying to find?
Yep. Now over 300 orders have rolled in through the last week, and over 20 people have played a hand in this 7 a.m. to midnight operation. The requests have ranged from little tyke basketball hoops and someone needed a ukulele, but mostly it's been groceries like today's trip.
Hey, they're on sale. Even better.
Now, once the items are purchased, the teams are invoiced and the goods are dropped off at the sealed gates of the hotel bubble.
All right, here we go.
Mission complete. One of many needed to make sure this march avoids any unnecessary madness.
It's really what Indiana Sports Corp does every day. I mean, our role is to elevate the sport. That's what we do. And so this is nothing more than living out that mission and making this a great city to live, work, and play.
Olivia Ray, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast on News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.